By the way, I do get some feedback about either practicing wheelies with a big bike or small bike or having enough power. Well, none of that stuff really matters. It's really technique, really. Technique is what you really need to be good at. And I still recommend this bike. There we go. What's good, everybody? Might as well welcome you into the channel properly. Welcome to another video, boys. Let's get it. Been practicing wheelies for about 2 months, twice a week after work, putting a good 20 minutes. And I hear this often. Why did you get a KLX? Why are you doing this on a dirt bike? Why didn't you get a Grom? Groms are amazing and they are fun. Reasons for me not getting that. We'll explain it as we're going through some cycles. I'm doing some drills here and warming up the bike. Well, the bike's already warm, but I'm saying warming up my muscle memory here. Groms are fun bikes. They're a little bit heavier than these guys. They're a little bit wider. So any handicap you want to have or on or facilitate, you want to take advantage when you're learning something new, really. So also with the Grom, you have to replace fairings, headlights, tail tidies, all that stuff. This bike here, the downside to this motorcycle is that you can't ride it in the streets. Hence why you always see me at a parking lot whenever I'm vlogging with it. Just that way, you know, I'm not in the street, in a public place. I'm usually in an empty parking lot. I got permission from this place, like the managers know that I'm back here. Hence why you've seen cops come all the time, and, you know, I'm able to bounce off saying, hey, you know, it's okay to be here. Manager said it was cool, so. So, yeah. Good stuff, man. Ideally, I could do the entire parking lot, but since there are cars there, it's a little bit earlier in the afternoon. I just don't want to disturb any people parking. This little backside area here has nobody parked, so I practice here. Also, it helped me quite a bit. It helped me a lot in the beginning. I thought it was a crutch, not having enough room. It really kind of narrowed down my inner, you know, thinking of how do I make most of the space. Because I remember one time I came here with my hyper motard. And I thought to myself, it's too short here to wheelie my hyper motard. And I went to a bigger spot. I practiced with that, which is fine. But on another note, which means it was a signal to myself that I'm not good enough. You're supposed to be able to wheelie pretty much on any length, if you got full control. If you need a lot of momentum and you're going really fast, it's not completely controlled. So at least that's for me. So now let's do a quick example. By the time I get to the I guess the start of the yellow, I'll clutch up. Full control, slow enough, and look, there we go. So this is what I mean by having like full control and command the wheelies. I just covered the whole thing. The bike didn't ring out, you know, you didn't hear it screaming, and it was pretty controlled. So that's what you really want. That way you don't need a big space. Anyway, back to the whole Grom and KLX. This bike is ultra cheap, guys. Ultra cheap. Buying it out the door is gonna run you around like $5 grand. I bought it brand new. You can find them cheap, like $2 grand, cheap, used or beat up. I didn't want to have to deal with fixing or nothing like that, or injector issue. I just didn't want to deal with any issues with the bike. So I got it brand new, out the door with tax and everything. It's almost like $5 grand roughly, but you could get stuff cheaper. You know, you do have those options to you to do them. But again, it's cost wise. So for example, I've dropped this bike a total of 5 times. 5 times. I've replaced the the handlebars. I replaced the grips twice. This is my second, well actually third. The OEM, my other color, the green and gray, and then now I'm going blue. Next time I'll probably do pink, because I wear them in a lot with me, like practicing and stuff. And then I had to get another handlebar. I also got risers. All of those things, you know, they all like $40-50. They're not really expensive. They don't really cost much, really. You know, they don't really cost you too much. They can really just easily replace. I'll show you guys another one. I did loop the bike at some point. Looped, scratched. I broke this off completely. That was like $30 to replace the pegs. Replacing those were cheap. You know, I did this. This was just for fun. But it's a super champ. The bike just, you know, it does well. You know, whatever you ask of it, it does it. And the best part is it just lives on. I did the gear shifter pegs. What else I had done here? It's not really much you need to do, really. Your money here goes really far, especially if you want to resell this, you can. For me, I don't think I'm reselling this bike for anything. I don't really need the money. However, I like the fact that I have a bike to learn things, to like go around. Ideally, I wanted to get rid of it. But my wife was like, why? Just keep it. You know, whenever you want to practice something new, you're not super comfortable on a bigger bike, you have this. And here we are. I figured it's good to have it as my part of my bikes. So here we are, man. So do I recommend a Grom, or do I represent a KLX? You know, the fact that the width is a little bit smaller, it's lighter weight. I think they're equally cheap to replace. You know, I just feel like there's a little bit more work having to replace a headlight or tail tidy. So I went with this one. But, you know, anything that gives you a benefit, like the fact that it's not as wide, the fact that it's not, you don't need a cage, I don't have to spend extra money, you know. So I went with that one, and I really didn't need a street bike or a street bike to practice. So, oh, here's a car coming.